Mr. Farron, sir. Permit me to introduce myself. Well, the official channel is the Diary of the Griever named John Weaver, and that's me. I do a channel regarding grieving, mourning. I'm not a professional. I'm usually telling my life story on this channel. It's my emotional and mental lifeboat. In the event that I actually happen to lose a lot of memories and I need something to remind myself by. It's also a way for me to deal with mourning and grieving since I've been doing that since I was a 4-year-old kid. I'm sorry about. Hang on a second. I got it. I'm sorry about Hattie. It's probably the most common thing for people to say that pets are family members, and when we lose family members, we're losing pieces of ourselves. And I've already been self-diagnosing me as Swiss cheese these days. A lot of it taken out of me every time I keep losing a human being or an animal. I discovered that in the process of losing them. Sometimes I will get a few sympathy notes here and there, but I've also discovered that even when you think your family members and your friends are solid enough, when you have connections to them that are still living, it's when the connections are broken by death that things get hard. And a lot of changes happen. There's relationships with family members and friends that change a great deal that you can't just deal with anymore. I can't deal with them. I know what it is to go through the process and survive as a 4-year-old kid. Open heart surgery. It ain't fun, and it changes you a great deal more ways than you can realize. It changes perspective and viewpoints. It made me more afraid to live and to exist, but it made me more afraid of not living and not existing. But it also made me love harder and deeper for those I care about. I didn't understand this until I lost my mother in 2013 and my big brother in 2018. If you happen to see the cabinet on my left shoulder here, the bottom picture is my big brother, David, and my mother, everybody called Mary Ann. I've lived with them all my life. Up in the top tier of the cabinet, I have several pets, several family members who lived long lives. I have a dog that's 19, almost pulling 20. She's looking at. I keep wondering and worrying about her time as well. And she'll join the rest of them up there. The hardest damn thing is to think about I'm going to be going out there to get another pet to replace. I always hate that. How can you replace those that you lost and loved? Actually, loved and lost, actually. I searched the postings on Facebook. A lot of other people have issues regarding death and how they want to look at it. For some of them with anniversaries and others, they're just suddenly dealing with it for the first time. Father's Day is, kind of hard to treat it as special, especially when you have a passing. My mother passed in February of 19th. Originally it was the 1st. Paramedics and fire department fought like hell to keep her alive, and then slow decline until the 19th. My big brother was just instant on the 8th of September 2018. And both days are hard enough anyway. And for me, being a scientific nerd, or shall I say a science fiction nerd, what can I say? Every once in a while I'll wear it. Tell people that, I'm still of the old guard. It was kind of hard having that kind of a day being spoiled when my brother passed on it, Because now I can't celebrate as being a Star Trek fan. I know my brother was a partial fan. Not a total nut job. He loved it. But not as much as the nerd. But it's harder when you have a loved one passing quickly and suddenly. And concerning about some of the pets I've had, my family had to put them under. I've had a couple of pets die in my arms. And it's like watching your kids die in your arms. One was a black and white terrier in a real terror for some people. Got along great, but this guy was a runner. We'd got him from a rescue, had him for about a year or two. Bonded with the guy. He liked to run out of the house and be chased. And then when you're not chasing him, he'll run right back. He didn't. Ran right into a street. I never thought that screeching brakes could be as piercing as knives into the heart. He was dying in my arms before we got into a local vet. There was nothing they could have done. Or even worse is when you have a dog dying and you had no way of taking care of him. Stroke. I don't want to describe it. It's hard enough. And there was no way to save him. This was another guy. I had a terrier. Black and white terrier called Little Boy. And he was my pal for a decade and a half. He was my joy. Be stories I could tell about him. Suffice it to say, Farron, we can do that to each other. We can just talk about it. I know you probably talked about it in your videos a lot about your pets. Every once in a while I'll show my girl on my videos once in a while. Especially when she needs to go out. They say the words of saying I'm sorry and my condolences are just not enough. When dealing with family members, it's just silence is better. At least a presence in your life would be better. I would hope this video would be a presence. And just know that I understand. I do. I don't know if you're religious or not. And forgive me if you're not. If I happen to wish that God's presence will be with you to take care of you throughout your days and the rest of your family, regardless of what form they take. God bless you and God take care of you. And know this, you ain't alone. You need to talk. My channel's open. This is John Weaver from Rosamond, California, the diary of the griever named John Weaver. It's 6:01 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, July 9th, 2023.